Welcome to Sagittarius season. Unfortunately, a trend that I have noted over the last couple of years is that fires ravage the earth and cities during fire seasons. First, it was Leo season with the Maui and Kelowna fires. And also in 2020, it was also during Sagittarius season that the Australian fires were happening. And now we have another big fire during Sagittarius season again. So, this is a very important time to look at the medicine of fire and to send prayers of healing, support, and survival out to the people affected and impacted by the negative aspects of fire. Let's dive into what we're going to look at today during this cosmic year activation and reading. So, unlike what Western astrology is saying, the natural visible sky, you can go out and see this for yourself. The moon is at the very end of Gemini. You can see that it's going to be underneath the star of Pollux tonight, very close to this. The full moon was at exactly 2:26 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So this was 5:26 Eastern Time. And so it might have moved already because the moon moves pretty quickly, but you'll be able to see it this evening underneath the stars of the twins, the head of the twins, Castor and Pollux, and specifically underneath Pollux. And you can see this pictured here from the stellariumweb.org app. And then you'll be able to see Mars to its left because Mars is at the very it's in the Cancer Gemini cusp. As you can see here, it's not already in the Cancer constellation, but it's very, very close. And these are considered conjunct. So we have a full moon right next to Mars. That Mars is in the Cancer cusp and it is also retrograde. So this isn't a super fiery, intense, energetic full moon. This is actually more of a calming, restorative. It can be enlivening, but it's not necessarily like energizing. Let's go, let's get stuff done, let's process a bunch of things, right? It's not that chaotic Gemini energy that you would naturally think of with Gemini and Mars together. It's actually an integration. It's a time for a lot of the work that you've done, perhaps the healing and the talk therapy and the coaching that you've done over years is kind of culminating and integrating. And it's a space for nurture transformation, for really soft and subtle and beautiful connection. And you might even notice through the thoughts that you're having, especially with this full moon being in the very end of Gemini, right next to the head and the hand of Pollux. It's the thoughts that you're having and the ideas that you're having and the way that you're thinking about yourself and life that is different. And you're going to notice this within yourself like, wow, look at how far you've come. Look at the difference that you've made. And this is especially true for if you feel like you have a big new message or a difference in your marketing, if you are a leader and you have a business that you want to put out there, that you want an audience to receive, that you want your ideal clients to receive and to want to buy from you with, from hearing your message, from hearing your authenticity. There's an integration here happening today during this full moon about the transformation that you've been through so that you can be the fullest version of yourself. It's not going big. It's not being super strategic, although you can plan out what you're going to say and what all the points that you want to hit and speak on are. That's great. That's wonderful, especially for your human design if you're a generator, to have things to respond to or invitations to speak to if you're a projector. But it's really, really important for you to have this moment to recognize that you have become the fullest version of you throughout all the trials and tribulations of your life and throughout all of the conversations that you've had with your own support team, with your own mentors, within yourself, through all your journaling, all of your work over the years, that there's an integration point of you get to now be your most authentic, real self with other people. And you get to share that. But it's not sharing it in a way that's, okay, go off and launch something new and have a whole new content strategy. It's actually gets to be more embodied and more simple and more subtle than that, right? With maybe you didn't share your behind the scenes and now you feel comfortable doing so. Maybe before you didn't feel comfortable going on stories or lives and sharing or recording yourself, and now you do. Maybe before you didn't feel like you could talk about this one aspect of yourself or your work that's actually the most important hidden aspect that your clients and people that you work with love the most, but now you feel comfortable. And this might be true in your all of your relationships, in your sibling relationships, being able to communicate more easily with your siblings, having something kind of come to a head, where you think about your siblings and your family differently. And you actually are willing to have a difference in the way that you're communing. And I'll talk more about that as we look at the holistic chart and all of the aspects. But this is a very powerful full moon for integrating our deepest thoughts and beliefs about ourselves, but having that be gentle and nurturing and subtle. So let me know in the comments below how you're feeling and how this full moon energy has been for you. Something I also want to touch on before we look at the holistic whole sky is that the sun is still in Sagittarius. It will be moving into Capricorn next week on the 20th of January. Yes, Inauguration Day. And Pluto will also be conjunct the sun at this time. This is something I'm talking about very deeply inside of my cosmic arts training for any of you that want to further dive into your cosmic artistry, your reading, your understanding of how to read the natural visible sky, how to stargaze, then join us for that. It's going to be a really profound Pluto deep dive. But still, currently, the sun is in Sagittarius. It's in the ass end of Sag, the very fun, sassy end of Sagittarius. So some of us might be feeling extra fun, extra jovial, extra funny, especially since you can see here at the beginning of Sagittarius, right in the head of Sagittarius is where Mercury is. So again, those thoughts, those expansive feelings and not just feelings, but thoughts about ourselves, new words that we're speaking about ourselves, new words that we're speaking about the people in our lives, new connections that we're making, new, more fun conversations that we're probably even having today. Consider how today was maybe a day of a lot of fun and conversation and communication for you. This is because Mercury is now in the head of Sagittarius and the sun is also here as well. So this is just showing you where the sun is oriented, that is reflecting back to the moon. And this is also what's giving there a sense of lightness, a sense of joy, a sense of ease, especially when we get into next week and there's inauguration in the US and Pluto Sun conjunction in Capricorn. That's going to be a more intense time. So luckily this full moon is a bit more easeful as we're about to approach a bit more intensity. So let's buckle up and get ready to look at the rest of the chart. Okay, here is the holistic whole sky or whole solar system at the time of this full moon. So we can see the moon and Mars right next to each other on that Gemini Cancer cusp. The moon is in the first house. So again, this is a very personal inward moon. It's a time to look at yourself and your relationship to yourself, how you think about yourself, how you speak about yourself. And that's both internally and to the people close to you, but mostly it's your own self conception and then how it is that you are going to outwardly share that with the world in whatever way you do. And both the moon and Mars are opposing the sun and Pluto because the sun is like still a few degrees away. It's not exactly conjunct Pluto, but they're both opposing Pluto and the sun. So, with the moon and Mars both opposing Pluto, Pluto is at the very beginning of Capricorn here, but it's also in the eighth house at the exact time of the full moon. So, this is very, very deep, profound internal work, right? Some of the work that you have done, it's like it's landing, it is integrating, and you've been doing it maybe for years, and it's now finally resting and stabilizing within you. But again, it's nurtured. It's like the depths of you get to be held the same way that the greatest depths of water are just still and present. And there's like a mirrored surface, even though there's so much beneath the surface and inside of an ocean. And so there's this presence within you at your own level of transformation that you've taken on, and there's more change to come. It's coming, but this isn't the time to feel these profound like epiphanies and now you got to do this shadow work and you got to go inward and you got to go into the underworld, etc. This is actually a time to get solid, to get in your body and to really look and see, okay, what am I going to do? Who am I going to become now that I have this new concept of myself? What is it that I want to create? What will be my legacy? And the midhaven here is at a unique point. It's in the eighth house, which is very rare because of the current position of the horizon and the sky because of the winter time. But the midhaven is in the eighth house. at the time of this full moon. And it is at the very end of Capricorn. And so this is about like, what will be that profound legacy that you leave the earth with, that you leave your family with, that your family gets to inherit, but also that you've inherited from others, right? What has been your divine inheritance from your mother's side, from your father's side, from your community, from your friends, from the world? And what are you giving forth to your friends, to the world, from your business, to your children, right? This could even be a time of profound inheritance coming into your life. This could be inheritance of skills and abilities and strengths and gifts, right? Or it could be a literal financial inheritance or some sort of goods or resources, especially since Mars is in the second house. It's how are you being provided for and how do you provide for others? But it's all in this sense of being secure, of being stable, especially with Jupiter being in Taurus and the rising sign being in Taurus and also Uranus being in Taurus at this time. It's very stabilizing. It's about being in your body, being present, being right here, right now. And from this point, being grateful for who you are, being grateful for what you have. And then from that point, saying, okay, what would I like to create next? What would I like my legacy to be for this year, for this new moon cycle? It's illuminating, but it's not necessarily like causing you to hustle and go, go, go. It's actually just easeful. It's like, oh, okay, this is who I am now, right? It's not like, oh, you have to go mindset change everything about yourself and have a new level. The new level is already here, and you're going to constantly be expanding. And from that expansion point, what is it that you want to create? What is it that's naturally going to come from you? And it's so, so, so profound because it'll be your deepest depths. It'll be your deepest gifts that are going to be excavated and given to the world. But it's going to feel like you're just making art because you are, because the North Node and Neptune are right next to each other in Pisces. So this is about you sharing your art, sharing your beauty, sharing your compassion, sharing your healing gifts with the world, and doing so in a way that feels easeful, that feels supportive, that feels like it's actually easy on your mind. Like, what's the easiest way that you can promote yourself? What's the easiest way that you can share your gifts? What's the easiest way that your business can grow? What's the easiest way that you can have connection with your family and friends? What's the easiest way that you can take care of yourself, right? What will have ease, but what will also be fun and creative, right? What's the most creative way that you can do any of those things? This is the pinnacle. It's really your destiny is to be an artist. And artists don't create in a hustle kind of mentality of intensity of like, I have to get this done. Maybe some of them do when they're under deadlines, right? Like in the movie business or in the book writing business or something like that. But typically art moves through you and is the most delicious and wonderful when you feel easeful, when you feel flowy, when you feel like you really have all the time in the world and all the energy in the world for it to come through you. And so there's this beautiful trine with the Mars and the moon, with the North Node and Neptune, that really has you pay attention to your dreams, both waking and daytime dreams, to really look at what is it that you most want to create for the world, and how is it that you're going to contribute in a way that is beautiful, in a way that is creative, in a way that is showcasing your innermost depths, in a way that showcases the innermost depths of all of humanity, right? Something that unifies, something that connects us all together. And this is so, so, so profound and amplifying. The last thing I want to mention here is that Venus and Saturn are in Aquarius. You can go look at them now. As soon as the sun is down, you can see Venus and Saturn in the sky. They're both in the ninth house. So this is again teaching us to love what will support the collective. What will be of the highest and greatest good to us is also of the highest and greatest good to others. And really considering how our relationships, our partnerships, our romantic partnerships, and our business partnerships can be of great contribution to the collective. So this is a really powerful full moon to consider, especially because Mercury is sextiling Venus, and Mercury is in Sagittarius, like I showed you, and it's in the seventh house of relationships and partnerships. It's a very powerful time to have new thinking, to have new communication, to have new opportunities arise within who you're partnering with, who you're collaborating with in business, so that you can have a deeper, profound contribution to the whole, to the collective. So it might be a really fun time. New opportunities might be coming in, or you might just be having new ideas that you're going to bring forth into the world with powerful partnerships. And also, it's a powerful time to have really beautiful new awakening in your partnerships, a new level of connection and communication in your relationship so that you can feel free, you can feel expanded, you can feel like you're growing and like you're doing something to better your family, to better the world with your romantic partner and with your business partners. So that's a bit of a collective snapshot. It's a time to nurture your creativity, nurture yourself, and really be the person that you have become after all of this time in healing. If any of you would like deeper, more personalized support to make those expansive wishes of yours come true with Cosmic Commerce chat support with me, I get to DM you, I get to VM you, we get to talk via voice messages. I'll send you your charts. We'll look at your business. We'll talk about your business model, your marketing, everything that has to do with your deepest expression and deepest expansion being present. And it is a monthly container that you get to repeat every single month if you want ongoing support. It's called Cosmic Commerce Chat, and I have 4 spots available still for this level of support. Reach out to me directly via DM at Sanja, Sanja, or at True Star Systems on Instagram, or you can email me at sonia@sonjarose.com. Let me know if I can be in your inbox and supporting you to deeply understand yourself, deeply expand yourself and your business for optimal prosperity and epic life experiences. Thank you all for joining me here. Incredible work connecting to yourself, to the cosmos, to the heavens, and just being with the power of this full moon and Sagittarius season inside of you. I'm sending you all of my love. And if you have any questions for me, send me a DM at Sanja Rose or email me at Sanja@sonjarose.com. It's Sanja, Sanja. And thank you so much. And remember to thank yourself for everything that you have done to become exactly who you are, because that is what this world needs, is you fully in your magic and fully in love with yourself. Have a magical full moon evening and a wonderful rest of Sagittarius season.